Hey guys, it's Josie here, and today I'm going to be watching the top 15 most scary things caught on camera by Top 15. I'm just gonna get started, so let's go.
Some of the footage in this video may be disturbing to some viewers. If you are easily scared, we recommend you to not watch this video. Viewer discretion is advised. Number 15, The Woman in the Graveyard. This video gained wide popularity with paranormal enthusiasts when it appeared on YouTube sometime before 2007. A man is wandering around a graveyard late at night, filming his journey to capture something possibly paranormal. At one point, he comes across a woman appearing to kneel before a large grave and calls out to her.
Oh my god!
After she doesn't respond,
I
he
can't
calls
look.
out
Oh my
again,
god.
only to be met with the woman's glowing, terrifying eyes. He immediately flees the area, and the video ends soon after. Many have called the video's authenticity into question, since many replicate videos are unable to agree on the location. Regardless, the shock of the woman's eyes are enough to send shivers down a person's spine, and to possibly enter a viewer's nightmares long after the video is viewed. Number 14, Scary Creature on the Road.
Oh my god, that looks
Little
like
is known
the
about
Grudge
this
or
video,
the Ring,
much of the
or
explanations
whatever.
are merely speculation. The video begins with a man on an all-terrain vehicle driving on what appears to be a dirt road and points the camera in the direction of a strange white figure. He moves closer only to see a terrifying thing wearing all white with dark long hair on its head. The creature starts staggering towards the terrified man as he begins to back away and yell in terror. Near the end of the video, the creature veers out of sight from the headlights, but the man steers his truck back towards it. The creature then makes a strange cry, and the man speeds away in fear, and then the video abruptly ends. Well, there are those who believe it is a paranormal entity. The majority of people believe it to be a hoax or prank pulled on an unsuspecting traveler. Prank or not, the fear you hear in the man's voice sounds genuine and is scary to anyone who has to drive down rural roads on a regular basis. Number 13, The Reflection. There is a long-time belief mirrors can be used as gateways for spirits wishing to enter our world, which is why breaking one is bad luck, as it traps the evil spirits on your side of the door. Furthermore, it must come across a person's mind from time to time if what you're actually staring at is you, and not some strange doppelganger from the other side. This is something a Japanese family will now be wondering for the rest of their lives, along with the entire internet. A video from an unknown Japanese show depicts a young girl playing in front of her dresser as presumably a family member films her. At one point, the girl faces the mirror and turns back. The video replays this part of the footage and zooms in on the reflection, revealing the reflection did not turn with the child and continues to give what appears to be a menacing stare. Not much is known about the video, and internet browsers have been unable to find its origin. After watching, it does make people feel rather uncomfortable having a mirror in their bedroom, because it's possible something is watching us from within. Number 12, Strange Roadside Encounter. According to Daily Mail Australia, dashcam footage captured a couple's terrifying encounter with what appears to be an attempted carjacking or robbery. A man was driving home around 1:30 a.m. with his wife in a car behind him just outside of Sydney when a hooded man wandered into the road and stood there motionless.
Oh my god.
After a moment, the driver started to veer around the man, who began to move towards the vehicle and let out a loud shout as the man and his wife sped off into the night. The couple contacted the police after returning home, and police began a search of the area. Not long after, they found a man asleep in a Jeep, matching the one saw with the man, and he was arrested for possession of drugs. Number 11, Great White in Sydney Harbour. Just outside Sydney is a suburb called Manly, which is a popular cliff diving spot for adrenaline junkies. On June 11th, 2014, a group of friends were taking turns diving from the cliff when one of them, Terry Tufferson, leapt off the cliff with a GoPro filming. Once he surfaced, his friend shouted "shark," and Tufferson plunged his head down to sea. Not far below him, he saw a great white shark swimming, and in that instant, Tufferson panics. He swims to shore as...
Oh, stupid ads! Oh my god.
Red Lobster's Lobster Fest is back, so come try the largest variety of lobster dishes of the year. Like lobster...
Oh, that's so loud. Stupid thing.
And in that instant, Tufferson panics. He swims to shore as fast as he can, diving down once more before reaching land to see the great white only a few inches away from him, but it just turns and swims away. Opinion of the authenticity of the video is almost equally divided on the internet community, with some saying it is real, while others say it is clever video editing. Tufferson has offered no comment as to whether the video is real or a fake, only stating he wishes to reel in believers. That doesn't take away from the fear of leaping into unknown waters and swimming without knowing what you're swimming with. Number 10, the Bataclan attacks. 2015 proved to be a tragic year for the city of Paris. Members of Al-Qaeda in Yemen attacked the head offices of well-known French satire magazine Charlie Hebdo in retaliation to the magazine's depiction of the Prophet Muhammad, and in the end, 12 people were killed and 11 injured during the two-day attack. Just as Paris was beginning to get back to normal, members of the Islamic State launched their own attack on the night of November 13th. Several explosions were reported during the evening, which emergency crews initially believed to be the result of a gas leak. But those thoughts were soon dashed after it was confirmed several suicide bombings had taken place in the city. At the Bataclan Theater in central Paris, the band Eagles of Death Metal played in front of 1,500 people when audience members heard people shout "Allah Akbar," followed by a volley of shots. The shooters killed 89 people and took between 60 and 100 hostages as police special forces surrounded the theater, and all shooters were either shot dead by police or detonated their suicide vest. The Eagles of Death Metal ended their tour early and returned to the United States, and have set up a fund to help aid those affected by the attacks. Number 9, the Hand Demon. The video begins with the audio only picking up a clearly terrified man panting heavily as he shuffles around and turns on a flashlight. Seconds later, green hands begin to phase through the walls and the ceiling. More hands begin appearing around the room, reaching up through the crack of the door and from the floor. At one point, the flashlight briefly goes out, and when it comes back on, it is shining on a strange figure made out of those hundreds of hands. Without warning, the figure rushes forward into the camera and lets out a horrific roar as the camera retreats in terror. The video stops soon after. Many have discussed the video's authenticity and even used it as proof of ghosts and demons. However, it has been revealed the video was created using low-budget effects on computer programs as a short video to scare people. From the community's response, it is clear the intended effect was successful. Number 8, traffic stop shooting. Traffic stops are unpredictable, which makes them dangerous for police officers to conduct. Deputy Stephen Racken of the Crisp County Sheriff's Office in Georgia made a routine traffic stop after he came across a car playing its music too loud. When Racken approached the vehicle, the driver pulled out a pistol and shot Racken point blank in the face. Racken collapses to the ground as the driver exits and attempts to shoot the officer again, but the gun jams. The driver then begins to savagely beat Racken, and at one point reaches for the officer's gun. Racken continues to fight off the attacker, eventually getting to his feet, running to his patrol car and firing several rounds at the suspect as he sped away. Help arrived soon after, and Racken was rushed to the hospital, where he was successfully treated for a shattered jaw and a fractured vertebrae. The driver was arrested the next morning and was identified as Ben Westbrook. He was charged and sentenced to 63 years in prison for attempted murder of a law enforcement officer. Number 7, Charles Manson's interviews. It should be no surprise an interview with a disturbed individual famous leader of the Manson family, a cult which believed the Beatles' song Helter Skelter predicted a race war between blacks and whites, which in the end Charles Manson would be the leader of the world as the last white man alive. If that wasn't crazy enough, Manson ordered the murders of several people around Southern California, including the murder of Sharon Tate, who was only weeks away from giving birth to her and Roman Polanski's child. Even today, people are attempting to understand the mentality of this deranged man, and he has conducted various interviews while serving his life sentence in California prisons. In all, he displays bizarre and eccentric antics, from flailing around the room wildly, to aggressively stating he did nothing wrong, to verbally abusing those interviewing him. In one of his bizarre interviews, he is asked who he is.
Tell me in a sentence who you are.
Nobody. Whatever his real reasons behind his actions may be, or if he is truly believed in Helter Skelter, will apparently be unknown to anyone except Manson himself. Number 6. The Doll Ghost, one of the more well-known videos for paranormal enthusiasts. This short video has a man filming inside his house after he hears crying. He opens a door to see if anything is there, but finds nothing. He closes it and turns around, but hears sounds from the other side of the door again, so he goes back to investigate. He opens the door and looks around, only to find a strange, elongated, childlike thing now standing in the hallway staring at him. Whether skeptic or believer, the video certainly gives a huge shock to all those who watch it, mostly on the aspect of anticipation and the unexpected guests staring back at the cameraman. This has not deterred those from calling out the video's authenticity, with claims that another individual was hidden off camera and quickly placed a prop in the hallway before the cameraman returned. The original uploader has made no comment about the video, so whether it is fact or fiction remains a mystery. Number 5. Live stream home invasion. If you remember our swatted video, you'll remember how strange things can happen to streamers while they are live.
Oh, the hell?
However, nothing compares to the terrifying experience streamer Nikki Elise, aka Sajine, experienced. While playing the popular mod Defense of the Ancients, Elise heard a loud crash at her door and ran off to investigate. Armed thugs had broken into her home and began looting. At a couple points, a hooded figure could be seen searching the computer room for valuables. While initially believed to be a swatting by the viewers, once the man appeared on frame, it became clear this was something more sinister. Many on the feed attempted to help, and eventually contacted Elise's friend, who contacted authorities. Elise was uninjured in the invasion, and one of the suspects was caught after a brief foot chase as he attempted to flee the home. Imagine the fear of feeling helpless to act, as hundreds, possibly thousands of viewers looked on as a woman was being held at gunpoint as people robbed her home. Number 4. Donna Aries poltergeist videos. Since 2009, Donna Aries of Lancaster has claimed to be haunted by a rather malevolent poltergeist whom she believes to be her brother, who died just before the haunting began. Aries says the relationship between her and her brother was strained, and now haunts her wherever she goes. Aries has moved over 5 times to try and escape the activity, but her brother has followed her each time, leading Aries to believe her brother is haunting her, not the places she lives in. Her footage has captured objects moving on their own, her chandelier violently shaking, and a particular disturbing video of a spoon spinning by itself as she looks on in horror. Aries has claimed the spirit has become quite violent, and she has woken up pinned down to her bed. Skeptics believe she is using strings to make the objects move, while others have been attempting to help free her from the haunting, suggesting various methods from exorcising the home and herself to finally send her brother onto the other side, and even suggesting making peace with her brother so that the two may finally bury the hatchet. Number 3. Shell-shocked soldier. Shell-shock was a term used during the First and Second World Wars to describe trauma caused by battle. As seen in the video, the symptoms can be pretty severe and debilitating to the sufferer. His movements seem almost inhuman as his muscles appear to be tight.
Okay, I can't watch anymore. Guys, I think this is the end of the video. I cannot do it anymore. So,